Malaysia adalah untuk menjelaskan kepada khalayak berkenaan transisi atau repetan di dalam sejarah seni rupa Malaysia sejak era pra-merdeka hingga kini. Buku ini pastinya akan menjadi yang bermanfaat khususnya kepada golongan pelajar seni, para pengkaji dan penulis serta individu yang berbeza. Jadi, naratif Seni Rupa Malaysia itu bertajuk menangkap identiti, menceritakan bagaimana seni rupa telah berperanan memberikan pilihan kepada artis untuk membentuk jati diri serta mengekspresikan tentang diri dan dalam konteks negara yang sering berubah. Buku ini menampilkan 19 buah esei yang diberikan artikel berpengaruh sejak 70-an hingga 90-an yang Dr. Siti Zainal Ismail, Tengku Safi Ibrahim, Umi Kokshwe, Anurendra Jehadewa, Laura Fan, Rahim Zahari, Chai Chang Huang,
Laura's try to give voice and shape to Malaysian art and what it could mean to us. Of the likes of T.K. Sabalati, Sulaiman Esa, and Mustafa Ibrahim, who are speaking here today. And of those we have lost, like Salima Jamal, Rizza Piadasa, Ismail Zain, Christian Jit. It was inspired most of all, of course, by the working Malaysian artists who over the decades have dedicated and continue to dedicate their lives to this vital part of our cultural life and understanding that is artistic practice. This idea would never have gotten off the ground without the generous support and encouragement of those in the art community and beyond who have shared our belief in the importance of documenting and discussing our art history, practice and infrastructure, of telling the stories that abound in and about Malaysian art. To this end, we would like to thank, for making this project possible, our corporate supporter, Kazala Heritage and Art Initiative, the National Visual Arts Gallery, both for their sponsorship and their gracious hosting of this launch event, Kenneth Tan and Christian Jet Astro Fund for giving us a kickstart and fund. We are humbled by your belief in our project. With the resources at hand, we began to scheme narratives of Malaysian art as one large volume, encompassing a gamut of themes and areas to be completed within 18 months. As you can see, it is now got 4 volumes, with just the first out today. We have been extremely grateful to the writers, artists, and the families of artists, institutions, galleries, and collectors who have given us permission to use their texts, images, and given their advice, time, resources.
As objects. They're not very sexy things. They cannot compare with objects that we have around us, simply because they do not have that similar kind of spectatorship. And it is for this reason that books get increasingly difficult to be produced. So I am personally very thankful for the number of collaborative patronage that has made this publication possible. Even as it is not as spectacularly appealing, books still continue to be the primary source by which knowledge is produced, disseminated, and hopefully you make use of. In looking at this publication, I cannot congratulate the people in it because that would mean to congratulate myself, and that would not be quite proper at the moment. But as I was coming into Kuala Lumpur, of course, I was thinking of one voice that was hammering away inside my head. Not surprisingly, it was Piadasa, who has already been mentioned. Pia would have done 2 things with this publication. He would have first of all applauded it and said, well done, it's about time that I produce this. At the same time, he would have been extremely critical about it too. The first thing he would have said is, why did it take so long? Why didn't this come out 10 years ago? Why hasn't publications like this come out every year, every 6 months, every 3 years, and so on? And I have no answers to them besides saying he's absolutely right. Inasmuch as books are difficult to produce, writers are difficult to come by. If you look at the contents of this publication, most of the writers are practitioners of creative studio practice. And this doubling up of the two has been both the blessing and the bane of art scholarship in Southeast Asia. It is a blessing because without artist practitioners writing, there would have been no text of any description at all. And yet, the professionalization of writing requires a different kind of trajectory. And we have, in my knowledge of the region, have not risen to that occasion at all. In that respect, all the institutions which exist are indicted in not being able to produce these kinds of writings. Even so, there are in this publication amazing and deep insights. I have had a kind of a book on redefining what is text and what is documentation above and beyond that which is written. And I'm specifically referring to oral traditions, transmission of expertise and skills by word of mouth from person to person. We have virtually completely forgotten this tradition. And those of us who are able to relocate and revisit them provide invaluable insights. One other matter to be obvious critique of this would be, and I have mentioned this to Balai on one or two occasions, while we are part of the region, most of us pursue our lives within national boundaries. From time to time, I have urged myself and those who collaborate matters with me, to be a little curious across the border. I know it's dangerous, but I think that curiosity is absolutely necessary. So we hope that as volumes such as these are produced, from time to time, we breathe with a regional air before we move on to global perspectives. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
I was cautioned that I should not talk too long. She kept reminding me I have only 5 minutes to say what I want to say and never overstate my case. That being the case, I would like just to briefly to express my view as not a historian like our Kanaka Sampati, but a humble painter who is now very much lack of knowledge in historical writings. But nonetheless, I think I owe it to the writers and most to my late friend Piadasa, who in fact told me just a couple of days before he passed away that Leman, I've just talked to Beverly and Yohani. You must move on with this writing. We need more books for the students, art students. Please do not fail me. I remember that was very clearly, and I was amazed that here is Piadasa, in that condition. He took very allegedly about the need to write books on art history. That really blew me. Anyway, because of that, I feel very happy and suspect that I've been invited to be a part of this very auspicious occasion. For me, this writing is a major milestone in the historical of Malaysian art. In the past, we have people like our Sabapati, Perasmian, Jam, and so on, who, to me, constitute the pioneer. These are the seminal writers, and they constitute the formative periods of Malaysian art historiography. And the coming of this group of young generation is very satisfying. Because this book, I believe, no doubt, will become a tremendous source of information for scholars, researchers, students, and so forth. It is a gift to me for Malaysian art and artist community. To me, what makes these writings unique is that most of the writers are the new generations who are active in the 90s. And also, they come from very diverse and different backgrounds. Apart from art historians, there are painters, sculptors like Musabri, even photographers, and so on and so forth. So what is happening is that we have now very rich voices talking about different areas, different topics, which have not been tackled by the first generation. Another important point I find that in terms of the ideology, most of the writers tend to subscribe to what is called postmodernist posture. And the writers are not involved with what you see the creation of myth or to glorify hero and heroic moment, but discuss issues which are pertinent to the period, the tempo and temper of the 90s, period which is characterized by political, social, and cultural turmoil or tensions in the country and also internationally. Events like National Cultural Congress, Islamic resurgence, globalization, these are the forces that shape their collective conscience and consciousness. And just that, the writers to me become very exciting because they speak about the struggle, the traditions of contemporary society. Another point which I like to just mention here. Because of this diversified, multifaceted and multidirectional artificial writing, we have now had a wide variety and versions of development of Malaysian artistry. As you mentioned that now we have, for example, the Malay Islamic version of artistry, the Chinese version of artistry, and even the Muhiba. I don't know what you mean by that, but it shows that there are now fragmentation, conflict, contradictions within art historians, and this to be really different to mode of what we are today. And finally, before I end, I'd like to come up with a few questions or issues I feel related to this writing. I remember Dr. Sarina Abdullah wrote about the predicament of art historical writing in Malaysia. She was talking about the issue of having writers who are not trained, who are not professionally trained in artistry, and their writings become questionable, not because of the motive, but of the lack of this intellectual discipline, theoretical rigor, and so on and so forth. So my question is, we have to take the materials we have today as what it is. To me, it has been a preliminary incursion. They're just thumbnail sketches. What is really happening today? I hope in the future, those trained historians, people like Negara and so forth, will be able to use materials and produce really books of high scholarship that can become pride of the nation. Thank you very much.
Mengumpulkan para penulis dan tulisan-tulisan mereka, menyusun dan akhirnya menerbitkan Naratif Seni Rupa Malaysia, Naratif Seni Rupa Malaysia. Dan kita hari ini patut berbangga betul kerana majlis ini dihadiri oleh Bapak Iki Sabapati yang merupakan dari saya merupakan orang tua seni rupa Malaysia, the old man of Malaysian art. Dan tidak lupa juga kepada supporters, para pendukung yang turut sama menjayakan penerbitan ini. Dan perihal menulis ataupun membaca, mencatat dan menulis Seni Rupa Malaysia Israel mengingatkan saya kepada beberapa perbualan ringkas yang kami budak-budak dalam tahun 1980-an ataupun kurang kurang lebih 1960-an selalu bercakap selepas membaca tulisan ataupun esei pengenalan. Okay? Jadi biasanya yang selalu jasa Allah Yarham terhadap literatur Seni Rupa Malaysia ini, dan juga untuk menggambarkan betapa erat, betapa pentingnya hubungan Allah Yarham dengan literatur Seni Rupa Malaysia. Jadi saya baca petikan, biasanya kita buka pengikat kata titik pelukis-pelukis Malaysia era 1960-an yang melukis dalam style expressionist adalah seperti Abdullah bin Muhyiddin, seperti Ibrahim Hussein, di Lumpur, dan Syed Ahmad Jamal. Okay. Dan selalunya di akhir tulisan itu juga disebut oleh Syed Ahmad Jamal. Okay. So, betapa bayangkan orang yang sama seperti disebut oleh Bapak Fikir dan Bapak Fikir, orang yang sama, dialah yang menulis, dialah yang berkarya, dialah yang menjadi kurator pameran itu, dan dalam kes pembayaran Syed Ahmad Jamal ini, dialah yang mengarah, dialah yang mentadbir, dan pernah juga menjadi seorang pendidik. Okey, orang yang sama. Dan ini fenomena ini tidak berlaku kepada Allah Yarham Syed Ahmad Jamal saja. Kita boleh lihat dalam Allah Yarham Ismail, dan juga tentunya Allah Yarham Reza Piadasa, orang yang sama. Dan ini bukan untuk meninggalkan sumbangan daripada penulis-penulis yang bukan pelukis. Okay. Mereka juga turut bersama-sama menyemarakkan penulisan ataupun literatur Seni Rupa Malaysia ini. Nanti kita ada sekarang ini kita ada Encik Fakhruddin sendiri, dia juga menulis. Kita ada yang lain-lain, semuanya menulis. Tetapi saya rasa beberapa soalan yang kita ingin tanyakan dan patut kita fikirkan, di mana lagi penulis, pensejarah, pengkritik Seni Rupa Malaysia? Mana lagi yang lain? Tidak mampukah universiti-universiti kita sekarang menghasilkan penulis, pengkritik, pensejarah dengan lebih banyak lagi? Justru akhirnya saya bertemu juga dengan Balai Reza Piadasa. Dia kata, saya memomellah tentang masalah-masalah itu ini. Dia kata, teruskan, apa peduli? Kamu tulis. Kalau tidak kamu, siapa lagi? Jadi mari kita sama-sama menyemarakkan literatur Seni Rupa Malaysia ini dengan lebih giat lagi. Terima kasih.